I, 28 female, have always been incredibly close with my sister, 30, who we'll call Sam. Since we were kids, we always hung out together, shared friend groups, hobbies, and interests, and genuinely liked being around each other. However, she recently got a new girlfriend, 29, Trisha, and our dynamic has changed. I don't care for Trisha at all. She's not rude or unpleasant, but I just don't vibe with her and think she's a bit annoying. I've expressed this to Sam, resulting in one of our biggest arguments. I understand that my opinion doesn't matter in their relationship, but I don't enjoy being around Trisha, so Sam and I have seen each other less and less and have been getting into more and more arguments. I recently moved halfway across the country for my job, and Sam asked if she could come and visit. I excitedly said yes, as I wanted to show her all the new hiking spots near me, and I genuinely wanted to have sister time again. However, she then asked if Trisha could come along as well. I don't really have the space or means of hosting at my new place, and despite Sam saying they would happily sleep on the floor or the couch, I just really didn't want to be on while she was around. I told my sister I just wanted it to be her and I hanging out and exploring this side of the country, and thus began another argument. Eventually I told her either come alone or don't come at all, which I half assumed would end the visitation plans, but later she agreed she'd come alone. Fast forward to when she was planning on visiting. I was getting excited and had a whole plan for the week mapped out. Sam texts me when she leaves her place, and since I know it's a 15-hour drive, yes, she chose to take it straight through, she would be arriving at my place around 10 p.m. At 10 p.m. she knocks on my door, and I open it up to both Sam and Trisha. I didn't even know what to say or do, I was so shocked. They looked happy to see me, but I just couldn't understand what happened. Eventually, the anger and embarrassment caught up with me, and I refused to let them in. Things got a little heated and frustrated, resulting in me telling them angrily to find a motel somewhere or drive home. They both chose to get a motel after many curse words and yelling, which is where they are right now. My family is furious with me for making them look for a motel so late at night, even though it's a highly populated area with many options. I'm quite embarrassed and worked up over the whole thing, but I don't think I made the wrong move, considering I set my boundaries pretty clearly earlier. I might have overreacted, as I genuinely don't think Sam or Trisha will ever speak to me again. I just can't believe my entire relationship with my sister has come to such a screeching halt over a girlfriend she's had for just over a year. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot for setting boundaries and sticking to them. Your sister tried to pull a fast one on you and is now paying the price of a hotel room for it. Ultimately, however, you must decide if losing your sister is worth it. This relationship may or may not last, but the hurt you just caused will be something she remembers for a long time. If you want her in your life, you need to have a one-on-one with her and let her know how you felt when she lied about coming alone and also springing someone she knows you're not fond of on you and into your personal space. You will need to decide if losing your sister is worth it. The way I read the story, that decision was already made in the doorway. Sis clearly decided that this was something to lose OP over because OP made her boundary very clear. Also, OP is going to recall this boundary violation for a long time. I agree with you to a point, and that point is OP's willingness to destroy their relationship with their sister because, in their words, I just don't vibe with her and think she's a bit annoying. I'm willing to bet that OP is a bit annoying to others, and others don't treat OP like a leper because most people are at least willing to be polite. To at least not be an idiot. OP has decided to be an idiot to their sister's girlfriend and can't even give a good reason for doing so. The sister shouldn't have tried to pull this stunt, and obviously her girlfriend was in on it, but OP could have been a heck of a lot nicer, more polite, much less of an idiot. In my opinion, everyone's the idiot here, but for me, OP is the biggest idiot of the lot of them. I honestly don't understand why everyone thinks I'm the idiot here. I, 25 female, went back home to visit my family before the holidays. I'm going abroad for a vacation during the actual holiday season, so this was the time that worked out best for me. My sister, Anne, 22, is married. I'll call her husband Rick, 23. Anne and Rick came over for dinner to see me, and Anne announced that she was knocked up with their first baby. Our parents knew I was the only one who didn't. I told her I was very happy and excited to be an aunt, and I hugged both Anne and Rick. I noticed everyone was looking at me a bit strangely, and I was like, what did I do? Anne said that I didn't say congratulations. I'm absolutely weirded out by this concept, so I said I was happy. What else am I supposed to say? Here's where I may be the idiot. I said congratulations, you got a baby in your uterus. Anne looked at me strangely and asked me what the heck was wrong with me. I was like, what the actual heck is wrong with you? Since when does having intimacy and getting pregnant get a congratulations? Celebration, sure, but congratulations? My parents said they were disappointed in me, and Anne said I was a lost cause and wished my future wife a lot of patience, which is weird in itself. Was it such a big deal? Did I mess it up? Everyone's the idiot here. It's weird of them to specifically make a point of you not saying congratulations, although you're the one who asked if you did something wrong. Otherwise, they may not have. But dude, is it really that weird to you? It's very common to congratulate expectant parents. How sheltered are you that it seems weird to you? And you went on to be crass about it for no reason. You are an idiot for how you reacted, but at the same time you were excited by the announcement, so they also kind of suck if that wasn't enough for them. I'm gonna say you are the idiot. You said you were happy and excited. You're going to be an aunt. At no point in your post did you say you're happy your sister is going to be a mum. 25 is a little too old not to understand how that works. The congrats on the baby in the uterus thing screams, this isn't about me and I'm frustrated by that. I'm reading between the lines here, but from your parents' and sisters' reactions and your dismissive attitude to the news, I'm guessing you have a habit of making things about yourself. And who uses knocked up when it's a married couple? Because it's still knocked up. In fairness, it's not the idiot. If I was pressured to give congratulations, I would give my condolences. You were happy for and hugged her and her husband. A physical gesture of love and care would signify more than saying a generic congratulations, even if you did not explicitly say that. You also said you were excited. I would think that says plenty more. I, 32 female, have been dating a widower with a daughter, Nara, a tween female, for a year. We've moved to a new city because of my boyfriend's job promotion. I freelance, and we're in the middle of settling down. Nara and I get along very well. Nara plays tennis. Since the move, she's been getting on the school team and competed a bit. Her teammates' parents often organize some kind of get-together, and her father and I tried our best to have her attend most of them. I would say Nara got along well with all her teammates, and I thought the parents were friendly. Last week, the team captain's parents hosted a potluck party. Nara and I brought over some brownies. There really was a lot of all kinds of food. The team captain's father did most of the greeting, telling us his wife was preparing something special for us all. Once everyone was at the party, the wife came out of the kitchen with a special dish, a recipe from a specific country. Now, Nara looks white, but her late mother came from that very country. The wife host began to serve everyone and share her recipe and ingredients and how it was not that difficult to make once you substitute the local ingredients. Feel free to ask her for tips. At this point, Nara spoke up, saying that the authentic recipes included such and how their particular scent and taste added to the whole experience of eating the dish. She said if so many substitutes were used, they might as well call the dish a different name. The wife host looked a little unsettled and told Nara that she and her husband traveled a lot in their youth and she had the dish many times and knew what it was supposed to taste like, and the substituted ingredients worked just fine. Nara then said her mom was from the dish's country of origin and she understood that some ingredients were hard to come by, but substituting so much turned the dish into something else altogether. During all this, I mostly kept silent. Nara was not being rude, just matter of fact. And as this was a matter of her heritage, I thought she could speak up. The host wife spluttered a bit before saying everyone should just go ahead and enjoy her dish, no matter the name. Everyone tried, though nobody asked for seconds. I thought it was a little bland, and there were a lot of leftovers. Nara's team captain later called her, thanking her for putting her annoying stepmom in her place. When my boyfriend returned from his business trip and learned of this, he thought I should have reprimanded Nara for being rude to the host. He also talked with Nara and she seemed to be sulking a bit, though she wasn't grounded or anything. Am I the idiot? You are the idiot. Nara was extremely rude. This woman opened her home and spent time and money preparing this meal. Nara trashed it before she ate it. Maybe you and Nara don't realize this, but there are different ways to prepare a cultural dish. Not everyone in a particular culture prepares their food the same way. Maybe the dish tastes similar to the way it was prepared when the hostess ate it during her travels. Your stepdaughter needs to learn graciousness and respect. This is spot on. If I pulled something like this when I was her age, my mom would make me write an apology letter to the mom. Then she would volunteer for our family to host the next team get-together and make me do all of the cooking by myself, so I would learn to have respect for people who invite me into their homes and prepare a meal for me. The team captain is also an ungrateful brat. If her stepmom is so annoying, she must handle the hosting duties for these gatherings herself. I agree that Nara was rude and even the idiot, but not that it was OP's job to control her behavior as the step-parent of a tween. To be precise, OP's still Nara's dad's girlfriend. They've only been together for a year. We don't know how long the kid was introduced to OP, nor how long ago the kid's bio mom died. It's entirely likely that the kid doesn't see OP as a parent and therefore does not handle any parent jobs, like discipline. Not the idiot, OP. What the heck were you supposed to do about it? Backstory. I, a teen female, was born in Spain to Spanish parents, but we immigrated to the US when I was 1 and we've lived here since. We do go back to visit my grandparents and whatnot, but this year they came to us. I live in a small 2-bedroomed house with my parents. I'm an only child, so I get one room to myself and my parents get the other. This isn't enough space for my grandparents, uncle, wife and kids. My grandparents booked a hotel near to our house, but my uncle is too cheap for that. He wants me to give up my room for his kids while he and his wife sleep on an inflatable bed beside them in my room. I explained that I have sleeping issues and would appreciate keeping my room. He kept insisting and annoying my parents until they finally caved in and told me to sleep on the couch in the living room. I didn't want to give up my room, so when nighttime came last night, I rolled my bed to the door and locked it for extra security so they couldn't get in. Of course, they were upset and tried to get me to open the door and let them in, but I didn't budge. I kept my room for the entire night. Morning time, I wake up expecting a disaster. Basically, I got yelled at for having a tantrum and not making a small sacrifice. I understand what I did, it seems like a tantrum, but I don't feel they're entitled to my room. I pointed out that my parents got a hotel and could have done the same. Am I the idiot? Not the idiot, and it was in no way a tantrum. Your space is not accommodation for cheapskates who are leeching by using your home instead of paying for accommodation. Stick to your guns and protect what's yours. You owe nothing to these people. If the living room is good enough for you, it's good enough for your uncle. Geez, your parents are spineless. Let's normalize kids not giving up their sleeping space for others. I would never expect my kids to sleep on the couch so my brother and his family can have their room. Maybe the parents should give up pair beds to be so generous. It's so easy to tell everyone else to be more generous, but what if it inconveniences you? If a hotel is too expensive, then the trip is too expensive. It's not a teen's job to accommodate guests in their room. As for the you aren't paying rent and mortgage, what the heck? You are the idiot. Your family is hosting your relatives. Yes, you're a kid, but an older kid who can understand the kindness a host can and should offer. What a gift that they're all visiting. It makes sense for one bedroom to be used for a full family and for you to get the living room rather than a full family in the living room and one person in a bedroom. It's nice to offer a private space to guests when possible. This isn't a permanent situation. It's how everyone can fit most comfortably together now. Be willing to be a bit more generous with family. Jesus, people think giving up your room for a couple of days is abuse on here? Like your parents agreed and they told you to sleep on the couch. You sleep on the couch. Don't barricade yourself in your room. Anyone who thinks giving up your room for a few days for family is abuse, clearly, is an extremely privileged and thin-skinned person. My wife and I have been married for 3 years. About 6 months ago, I started noticing strange behavior in her. She started staying late at work, acting strangely, talking to me less and thinking about something else during our conversations, without noticing what I was saying. I don't know, maybe I'm just paranoid, but every time I wanted to talk to her, she told me I was imagining things and making things up. I thought she was right, that I was just being too clingy, but yesterday she came home and she smelled like another man's perfume. I didn't even notice it at first, but then we started watching a movie together and I put my arms around her and put my face on her shoulder and smelled it. I asked if she'd changed her perfume. She looked surprised and asked why I was asking. I said she smelled like another man's cologne and she said, "Oh yeah, that, I bought a new perfume. It's not only for men, it can be either." Her answer looked suspicious, and I asked her to show me the perfume she bought. But she started yelling that I didn't trust her, that I was already boring her with my jealousy, and that she wouldn't show me her new perfume because I was too clingy. Maybe she's right, and I'm putting too much pressure on her. One of the quickest things you learn about yourselves and others in life is that most people don't immediately get defensive and start deflecting unless they feel guilty. If I purchased new cologne and my husband smelled it and asked to see it, no matter what tone he used to ask, I'd just show it to her because it's a simple request and I have nothing to hide. Chances are that she's been cheating, or considering cheating, is picking up on the fact that you're noticing it, and is adamant about either not getting caught or not having to own up to whatever feeling she's been having regarding fidelity in your relationship lately. I'm not sure what you should do about it, but I do get the impression that you're having the gut feelings that you're having for a reason. If I was in his wife's position,